Like, I literally have this book, and it's just ridiculous. And I've been trying to read it like from page like front to back. Hang on a minute. It's up on a stack of more books. No. No. Oh my god. No. Oh fuck. So amongst the flim flam of the skullduggerous mountebanks trying to sell you that you're going to somehow become Steve Jobs in like 5 days if you do this like JavaScript course, or the secret to this or the secret to that. I'm putting this out there to just say it's really simple, and the answer is just, like with any skill in life, if you want to get good at going to the gym, don't sit there and watch like these stupid, like I'm a gym scientist and I, I retort my bicep at the 45 degree of the angle of the moon to the sun. Like it's not going to get you bigger muscles because you listen to some guy with glasses. And you have to like take like theory is good. You want theory, but you have to also practice. And one thing that I'm guilty of really myself is a lot of, like, I bought this book and it's good. It's absolutely humongous, C# 12 in a nutshell. But my idea was that I was going to sit and read the entire thing from front to back. And I've read a good chunk of it has been read, but you just need to put things into practice. So I've literally paid money for a course right now by Christine Sluzak. I don't even know how to say her name, but basically it's 100 coding exercises, and I think it's pretty good. It's better than just sitting and reading a book. That's going to help you if you come across something so that you don't have to like wiki everything, but absolutely no use for someone that's just going to like you're not going to learn how to program from reading Wikipedia anyway. You just have to have problems that you're trying to solve. So these like coding exercises are stupid. It's like you start off slow, so it's like build a program that adds these two numbers together, or then you go up from like it checks a string to see if it's a palindrome, which is just a word that when reversed, you don't care about that, but like it's just like when a word is reversed, it says the same thing. So like Hannah, if you write Hannah backwards, then it's a palindrome. Oh man, I don't know. Like none of you are doing anything. There's a lot of just learning, or I say you a lot. I mean, I think a lot of this goes down to me. But I feel like there's a lot of people that are in my situation, where it's just not a lot of practice being put in to what like you're talking about. I've even tried to like sort of go forward and put that into like other parts of my life as well. So there's a lot of stuff like I knew how to tinkle like the first bit of songs on piano, but I always have this habit of I'll learn the song and then I'll just forget about it, and I'll be able to play that part of the song where I'll just stop learning because I've got that like dopamine, I suppose, of being able to play like the first bit of the song. And it's just being able to be like I don't know, just not like being okay with not knowing. So going through these coding problems, you don't get much joy out of it in the sense of if you sat there with like ChatGPT and it can do anything for you. Yeah, like if you sit there with ChatGPT, you can pretty much get it to do anything. But the reality of programming is more just being sat there and not being able to do anything, and having to like think about it all, which gets like massively overlooked. And those tutorials don't really help because they give this perception that the person writing the code knows everything, which I imagine there'll be people that are like really experienced that do, but I think a lot of it is just because they've already like set up. They've got everything set up that they're trying to teach you. So of course it's all there already. So it gives this like misconception that you are behind to some degree, or you're not performing in the way that you should be, because you see them just like tapping out code like the hack, like, and you can't do that. And it's like, but there's nothing wrong with you. It's just literally they're already, you know, set up in advance. They know what they're going to teach you for that lesson. It would be stupid to just go into it willy-nilly. Kind of like how I'm doing this video right now. I keep breaking the fourth wall. I should stop going on about. I didn't say anything. But that wasn't funny. I need to stop saying as well. Is like a terrible habit. I didn't realise how much I said it until I started like recording myself. As well as like, I need to stop using these like conjunctions. I don't even know. Why am I getting like this? Honestly, this is going to be interesting because it's just going to be how you're going to watch me sort of like go in through. Oh my god, what the hell am I going on about? Just, I'm going to slowly get better on camera. That's the plan. That's the plan. Amongst other things, try and set on like, get like a community online, which would be good because I think it's good to have a group of like-minded people together. I'm just rambling. There's little direction in what I'm saying right now. I think focusing on the other areas of your life is good as well, because as much as people focus on like monk mode and I don't look women in the eye and I, you know, that and I you know, all I do is work and then just this all I do is work. It's such a like common thing online. You're lazy, if you're not rich, and all of this. And it's, I think a lot of people just lack any vital information for anything, so it turns into like a lot of, I don't know, it's like self-improvement cope maxing. Like you can basically like do everything that is considered a good habit and be like really good at it all, but because you don't live a life, you lack a personality. And then I feel like it holds you back in like other areas of stuff as well, because a big part of like programming is just being able to like understand people's problems. And if you lock yourself away and become brain dead in like a room just not speaking to anyone, then you sort of cut out that communication, I think, which is not very good, because you need to be able to communicate in order to solve the problems for people, and it can be like really mundane stuff. Like, and I was thinking about this while I was like going through this exercise of doing exercises, but I was like, I'm really boring. Like, all I do is like just do coding exercises, and like I was getting like real like turned on by a method that I'd written that, what did it even do? It returned the highest scores in the list. It was just like, whoa, you know, and it just so meaningless. But to some person out there, being able to get the computer to do that for them, it means something. So I suppose there is that. I like the fact that it's a skill that's got a lot of thought to it. But it's just a skill where you have to use your brain. Like, I managed to escape pot washing, which was just bliss, because there was something about, you put in like hard work, but there was no thought behind the work in a way. It was just very monotonous and the same thing. Anyone could do it. It was just a case of like being able to do something that you hate, which is a good skill, but you don't want to do something that you hate forever and get paid minimum wage for it. That's just a bit stupid, really. So yeah, just checking in really. So I've moved most of my learning from just studying to putting into practice, and I think it's helped me a lot more, because as you solve a problem, you get the tool that you need to like solve the problem, and there's also ways that you can go about it more effectively. So especially in C# with the link library, there's a lot of problems where you can literally turn a whole like method into just one line. It's ridiculous. I'm not going to go into trying to explain it all right here. That's not the point of this video, but there's a lot more efficiency in, like, there's other methods of solving something that can be like 10 times more efficient, and you've just got to understand the premise of what it's trying to solve in the less efficient way, I think, before you can understand the really, really, really efficient manner of doing things, because it shows you what's going on underneath. And that's where I think I've done very well, because I've worked mostly with an out-of-date ASP framework, which there's a lot that nowadays can be done quicker, but it's hidden behind a lot of scaffolding and just abstraction, really. And being able to see what things do under the hood, I think it's like, if you look at what the gearbox does in a car, it just makes it easier to understand what you're actually doing. Like, why do I put the clutch down? Well, it's to disengage the clutch from the wheel. Basic stuff, really, I imagine, but you don't always know that, and it's just good to know these things. So yeah. I think the other thing as well, it's brilliant to just focus on mini skills. Like, for me, it's like C#, the piano, the gym, but it definitely keeps you going, especially when you're a young lad like me, and I'd say for even younger. If you have like anything that's bothering you in your life, just literal focusing on progressive overload, not just in the gym, but in every other area of life. If you have a skill, if you're terrible at it, just keep fighting, just keep going on. Just keep learning one little thing every day, and it does tot up after a while. It can work the opposite direction, like for instance, the planks I've been doing. I absolutely hate doing planks, and I had a second on it. Why did I say it like that? I had a second on every day, and it's absolutely just brutal now at this point. Today I did a 2 minute and 49 second plank, and it was just miserable. And I have to do 2 minute and 50 seconds planks tomorrow, and I'm not looking forward to that. But it's a good example of where just adding a second on, it's grown proportionately out of measure to what I believed it would do in the time frame that it has. It's not fun in any sense, but you can extrapolate from that what you want. I think it's a good way to look at, if I do one rep, I suppose, of, you know, just solving a coding exercise, and being terrible at it and not doing well, or learning a new part of the piano song that you want to play and being absolutely rubbish and not even being able to play it, but just keep tinkling on, keep trying, keep failing. That's where you're going to make progress. Progress is in the failure, and I know it's a very retorted thing that everyone says, but I'm not trying to sell some bullshit to you here. I'm just trying to be honest. Because I think there's more people out there that need hope, especially when they're trying to cram down everyone's throats that AI is just going to take over everything. And even if you're in a bad place, like I literally have on my wall, where is it? Yeah. Discipline lives. Depressed feelings are just a regression of progressive overload, of life making everything hard. So stop getting upset, just focus on progressive overload, progressively overload, sacrifice, or you will become complacent. And that's the truth. The only reason that you feel miserable in your current state right now, and I guess this is just talking to like younger me, but it's because you're not where you want to be. But the only way that you're going to get to that place is by putting in those, like, it's sort of like if you were like sad because you wanted to, this is a really weird way of putting it, but imagine you were brassed off because you hadn't made it. It's raining outside and you need to get home because you don't like the rain. But imagine instead of putting one foot in front of the other and walking home, you sat and thought about how miserable you are because you aren't home yet and it's raining. Stupid. But you do the same thing when you sit there and you think about the goals that you want to achieve. You feel like you can't write code because ChatGPT, you know, you use it as a crutch, and every single time you go to write a piece of code, because you're lazy and because you don't want to use the brain power, you just load up ChatGPT and get it to do it for you, and therefore you don't build the skills that you need. You don't think properly. It's just a whole lot of output, but with no meaning behind any of it. And that's where it's not about being able to play the piano song and play it beautifully. That's not the part that makes it clever. It's the sitting there and playing the wrong key every single time and not even being able to sync each hand up. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of everything. It's being able to sit there and code for 6 hours and not be able to solve the problem. Just sit there looking at it and going like, shit, like I can't fix this. I can't work it out. Like, what do I need to find? What tools am I not using properly? What would be a more efficient way of going about this? And just exercising your train of thought so that you actually get to the end solution to these problems. And then eventually you do finally get to that peak and you play the song properly. You write that bit of code that you wanted to write, and it's beautiful and it's an amazing moment. And once you get to that point, the trap is to just keep playing the beautiful piano song, writing the little bit of code that you can do. Stop doing that. Find where you cannot do it. You can't write the bit of code. You can't play the piano song. You can't lift that weight, and just keep pushing. Just keep going anyway, and failing miserably and being crap at it. Be crap at whatever you want to do, and be crap at it until you get good. And that's my little rant for today.